Today's video we're talking about the DJI Air 2s and the new DJI Air 3. We're going to be talking about 5 of the main reasons why on paper the DJI Air 3 is better, but is it actually a significant upgrade if you already have the DJI Air 2s? Let's get into it. So the first noticeable difference between these two drones is actually in relation to the battery life. So the DJI Air 2s, the battery is on top of the drone. So you just pull this out here, we're going to discuss this. But the actual battery life has been increased a lot on the new DJI Air 3. So the old DJI Air 2s battery and the DJI Air 3 battery, a significant difference in size, but also in performance as well. So the Air 2s, it has a 31-minute battery life. The Air 3 has a 47-minute battery life. So around a 48% actually increase in battery life. But I always found that actually when I was flying the DJI Air 2s, I would get nowhere near to 31 minutes. So 25 minutes on a good day. If it was windy, probably around about 20 minutes. So the battery life wasn't great on this. Now the DJI Air 3, that battery life is a lot better on paper anyway, but because these drones are a lot heavier, I find the battery life to be significantly better. So as a minimum, 35 minutes of battery life from the DJI Air 3. Now we all want more flight time when the drone's in the air. You can also get the combo pack, so this is going to come with more batteries. So actually flight time, the DJI Air 3 is a lot better. Now before we talk about the most controversial aspects of the DJI Air 3, which is the camera, if you do enjoy tech and drone content, just hit that subscribe button. I've got loads of content coming really soon, lots more comparisons and loads of really exciting new tech that's coming out. You don't want to miss out, I promise you, so hit that subscribe button. Let's talk about the Air 2s and the DJI Air 3 and the camera and why the DJI Air 3 is better-ish. The DJI Air 2s has an f2.8 20 megapixel 1-inch sensor on here that can shoot 5.4K video on the main camera. The new DJI Air 3, the main camera is an f1/1.3 inch, it's f1.7 fixed aperture. It's 12 megapixel, they do some magic and transform this into 48 megapixel, but this can shoot at maximum 4K 100 frames per second. So actually on paper, the DJI Air 2s main camera is better. It's got a bigger sensor, it can shoot in 5K, the main camera is better. But where it gets actually confusing is that the actual hardware, yes, is better on the DJI Air 2s, but there's a lot of actual new software processing and magic going on in the background, just like we see on smartphones now, to actually make the camera on the DJI Air 3 really impressive. Now this is a stack sensor as well, but just look at some of these shots on the screen now. Now on purpose, I'm not going to actually tell you straight away which one's which. Now can you tell a significant difference of a 1-inch sensor over a 1/1.3 inch sensor? And the DJI Air 2s is also shooting in 5K, whereas the Air 3 is shooting in 4K. Can you tell a difference here with these shots? I think personally, they are pretty similar. I'm now going to reveal actually which one's which. Now be honest, could you actually tell that difference? Where the DJI Air 2s pulls ahead though is in relation to photos. You see 20 megapixels versus 12. The photo aspect of it, more megapixels is better. It's going to allow you to actually crop into that photo more, it's going to be better quality. So yeah, for photos this is better. But what this has is, this now has a new 3x 70mm focal length. This doesn't, this just has one main camera. And I'm sure you've seen on other videos as well, and for me testing this over the last couple of months, this focal length of 70mm, I'm just obsessed with it. Majority of all the actual shots I've been taking in different locations is with that 70mm focal length. So the actual quality of it is really good. We can actually use that 70mm now to get actually lots of really nice compression in the background. You can use this in various things like quick shots, active track. So it's not just a gimmick like we saw on, say, the Mavic 3 where you had the Explorer mode, which was like this super duper zoom, but the quality wasn't very good. This now is actually intended lens on here for you to use, not just be a gimmick. So yeah, this is what I would say majority of you guys are going to be using. So because it's got this 70mm focal length on here, that is a huge advantage. It's something you don't get on that DJI Air 2s. So the actual main camera on paper, yes, the main camera is better on the DJI Air 2s, but actually in reality, with those comparisons I showed you, could you tell a significant difference? I don't know, I really cannot. The actual having this 70mm camera and a camera that's good enough as the main camera, I would say is a bonus for sure. Now, one thing DJI went to town with on here is actual features. So what they did is you've got the Mavic series that like sits at the top of the pack, like untouchable, most expensive, the best drone out there that DJI offer as a portable drone. But what DJI did, they just basically got that drone, pulled out all of the main features from it, chucked it in the DJI Air 3, and I was just blown away when I actually looked at all the features that were on here. They didn't hold back. So you've got waypoints on here, so you can plot your own flight mission. You can literally customize everything on waypoints. You've now got that on here. You've got a new active track, so the exact same active track as the Mavic series. So on the DJI Air2s, all you can do for active track is they can actually follow you from behind or the side when it wants to work. Whereas on here you have a clock face, so 360 degrees on a clock face, you can position that drone wherever you want it to, and it works flawlessly. So it's not, again, a gimmick, it works great, just like you would expect it to work on the Mavic 3 Pro, and it's the same active track on here. It also has features like night video mode, which comes from the actual Mavic series as well, so you're going to get a lot less noise on any of your night video. This doesn't have that. See what I mean? It's got a lot of features built into here, but you can also actually use vertical video now as well. Albeit it's only 2.7K, it crops into that sensor, but if you actually want to share your videos to social media, you can on here, because you get an automatic vertical crop, which is pushed out to you so you can share straight away. The DJI Air2s, you have to crop that yourself. So this has lots of features, literally every feature that the Mavic series has is on here. Aside from the camera, everything else feature-wise, intelligent features, is the same on here, and that is a massive upgrade. Now when you get a drone, obviously you don't want to crash it, so having more sensors is better. The DJI Air2s, it does have sensors, but this doesn't have any sideways protection, so if you're flying your drone, it's not going to stop at any sideways movement. So if you're doing like active track and it's following you from that side, it will crash. If you're actually flying this drone and it actually is flying sideways and you don't notice like a tree or a wall or something, it will crash. And this is the downside. It's going to be an expensive downside as well. Whereas this, again, pulled out from the Mavic series. Let's just get the omnidirectional sensor in from the Mavic series and just chuck it into the DJI Air 3. So this has full 360 degrees of sensoring protection on here. So it's got sideways protection, it's got front, back. It's fantastic. So when you're actually flying sideways in active track, it will detect any objects. So it gives you a lot more confidence when flying this. Now this is another controversial topic, but the DJI Air 3 supports OcuSync 4, whereas the DJI Air2s supports OcuSync 3, which is the same as the Mini 3 Pro. So signal-wise, OcuSync 3 and 4, what's the difference? Well, normally you just get like subtle differences. It's not massive, it's not a huge difference. But it was one of the main things that actually stood out to me about just how insane this new signal was. This is why it's controversial, because it's not available on any previous drones. OcuSync 4 at the moment of recording this is just limited to the DJI Air 3. You get the new RC2 controller with the external antennas, and I was completely blown away at the performance of it. So that signal penetration is just the best out of anything. So it's better than the RC Pro, it's better than the DJI RC, it's better than the N1 controllers. It is just phenomenal just how good it is. So if you're actually wanting the very best signal in the area that you're flying, I'm not even saying that you're doing drug runs to prisons in another county, just you want your signal to be so good in that area. You don't want any signal dropouts. So when I've been testing this, the signal has been one of the main things I've been impressed with. The RC2 is also great. Not only has it got external antennas, it's now got built-in memory. It's also a lot faster because it's got a new chip inside of here, so it's a lot quicker than the DJI RC. It's also got an integrated fan inside of here, so if the controller gets warm, it's not going to actually decrease in performance. It just keeps on going. It is so good. So the actual signal performance, I would say, is a big one. So those for me are the actual top 5 reasons why I would say that the DJI Air 3 is actually better than the DJI Air2s. But is that going to be a good enough upgrade? Well, I would say if you don't actually like to use the telelens, if you're not actually bothered about using that zoom, then yes, the camera on here is not going to be an upgrade to the main camera on the DJI Air 3. I wouldn't say upgrade for that reason. I would say upgrade for the reasons of the extra features you're getting on the DJI Air 3 and that signal on the DJI RC2. Those are the main reasons. But if you do like using that 70mm focal length, you do like compressing that background, then you also get in that as well. And let's not forget this also has that same features of the Mavic series. Yeah, the camera's not as good, it doesn't have 3 lenses, but it's also a lot cheaper as well. So if you're thinking about, should I go from the DJI Air 2s to the Mavic 3 Pro, you could save a significant amount of money and just get the DJI Air 3. So that's my opinion, but I'm really interested to hear your thoughts as well. If you already have a DJI Air 2s, would you upgrade to the DJI Air 3? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, just hit that like button. It really does help out. Subscribe if you're new around here and you don't want to miss out on any more content, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.